What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today we're discussing Big Ramy 2020 versus 2022. Where is he placing? Call out confusion as he's placed on the outside of the first call out pretty much throughout the entire prejudging. Is Big Ramy going to place first, fifth, or sixth? Or who knows if you can actually slip a little bit more. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and hope you guys enjoy this video. What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and let's launch straight into this one. So I released a ton of videos leading up to the 2022 Mr. Olympia regarding these holes in Big Ramy's quads. I was told it wouldn't matter. I was told it's not an issue, all that sort of stuff. And now we're seeing copious amounts of photos, videos, and all that sort of stuff, basically saying that Ramy's holes could be the reason as to why he actually was placed on the outside of that first call out. There's several reasons though, and we will go through all of those and basically let you guys know, is Big Ramy going to place first in this Mr. Olympia lineup, or will he place last? Let's discuss a little bit about what the call outs actually mean for those who don't know. So when you get called out, normally the first call out, the best competitors will be moved into the middle for best comparisons in the best lighting of that call out. Sometimes they'll leave some guys side by side, not right in the middle, but typically that's how it's done in IFBB Pro Bodybuilding. In previous years, there has been years where Mr. Olympia has been compared in one call out and then stood to the back of a lineup because it is such an obvious victory. I don't believe that was this because he was not actually stood back, but kept on the outside basically throughout the entire prejudging as well. And for me, I was a little surprised because I didn't think Ramy was that bad to be Mr. Olympia 2 years in a row and then to be pushed out down to sixth, and not actually even to be compared in that second call out as well. Now, I've heard some people say it's a respect thing. They don't want to put Mr. Olympia down into the second call out. But for me, to really not be compared to many guys apart from the guys that are just on the side of him, not to get multiple looks if you're right on the outside of that first call out, because Samson even got more views, I think, one spot inside than Big Ramy did. So to me, that says Big Ramy is sixth, because otherwise they would have just stood him back in the lineup. And I don't think he was so overwhelmingly good that he would wipe everyone else, because there's some good guys up there as well. So let me know your thoughts on Big Ramy and where he's going to place the 2022 Mr. Olympia. But there was a very good video done. And also let me know what you think of the quad holes. Is that the issue as to why Big Ramy may place down in sixth place for 2022 Mr. Olympia? Or let me know if you think he will actually win this contest. But yeah, the quad hole is quite evident there. That was I suppose that right quad of his was the one that didn't have any issues. But for me, I think that his physique has lost, I suppose, the prettiness and the clean lines a little bit, but he is more rugged looking. Like his conditioning, to me, in most shots, isn't bad. But when we have seen some of these HD photos now a bit more close up, you can see the conditioning isn't there as much through the chest and midsection and whatnot as well. So for me, it's hard to judge because it's not a crystal clear stream, but at least you can get a pretty good idea of what's going on. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry, I was on mute there for a little bit. I'm back. Um, I'm back. So let's go over this once again. Sorry, I muted myself. Sometimes when you click the button, it doesn't unmute properly. But let's go through it. So front double bicep for Big Ramy. When he's crunching down like this, it sort of looks a little bit more, I don't know, it looks more rugged. Like the conditioning looks good to me, but it just doesn't flow as well. That 2020 version just looks more aesthetic. The waist looks a little bit more trim, a little bit smaller. And there's just, I don't know, it just pulls his physique in and just doesn't look, I suppose, the way you'd want it to look, I guess. So let's go through it. He's open there, and then he just crunches down into it in that 2022 version where it starts to look uncomfortable. Then we go into the lat spread, and sorry, I'll get Ramy in that one there. I think the 2022 version of the lat spread looks pretty damn decent. I don't see any weird delts or anything like that that stick out in particularly. I think it looks all right. And then the side chest, let's look at that one. So I think the side leg looks pretty good. Like you can still see that sort of little bit of a lump where it sort of goes in. Well, it's a lump and then it sort of goes in a little bit on that outer quad, but it's not particularly bad. It looks about the same in each photo there. And yeah, I mean, he's a little bit flatter, I'd say, in the 2022 version. I think there's less pop, and maybe that's why Big Ramy sort of just doesn't look as impressive as he does in 2020. And this is where a big highlight is. Obviously, you can see the footage from 2020 isn't the most crisp looking, but he couldn't open his back any more than that. There is something going on with Big Ramy's back that is causing him. There's thickness there. It actually looks like there's more thickness there. But for whatever reason, it just won't open. I would love to know why that is, whether he needs some sort of work, whether he just can't, he's got some cramping, who knows. I would love to see if this can actually get corrected and open up a bit more for finals. I'm sure they'll be doing whatever they can to open that back up, but something has happened to his back where it just doesn't develop the same way, which is unusual. And yeah, he just looks a little bit flatter, maybe through the arms as well, as someone mentioned. Someone said small arms. Definitely not small. They're absolutely enormous, but yeah, I don't think that it's as good as last year. And then we've got the rear lat spread, which I still think looks good, but it is not as big as the years prior. It is evident, but he was in condition. And people have pointed out the glute lump as well on the far left side. And that, I mean, I don't think that's as bad as the quad hole, but it is evident, and he is Mr. Olympia. So there you go. So people suggesting that it's nerve issues, and it very well may be too. So, and people saying the stream actually dropped out as well. Oh, actually, we'll be live very, very soon with my watch party. Side tricep, let's have a look at that one. So the side leg still looks great in 2022, but the upper body is distinctly different. I'd say at least a little bit. And he's just overall just not quite as impressive, and his tricep has atrophied at least somewhat. And then the ab shot here, let's wait till he gets into it, sort of both of them. And then that's where you can see clearly that quad hole is quite evident. And yeah, unfortunately, I think that will hurt Big Ramy. And I said it in some videos. I said this quad hole, if it is close, could be the potential reason as to why Big Ramy actually loses the 2022 Mr. Olympia. And that might be why, because to be pushed down so low as to 6 straight away, he still was in good condition. Like there's still good aspects to his physique. Everyone's going to pick on the bad, but the difference between 2020 and 2022 is definitely there. But what we've seen in the past, we might see, you know, this sort of physique in 2022 place second or third because he is the reigning Mr. Olympia. So I don't love the look of Ramy this year personally, but I still thought he might place a little bit higher, to be honest. So let me know your thoughts on Big Ramy in 2022, how he looks, how he will do, and where he will place at the 2022 Mr. Olympia. Where would you have him, and where do you think he'll actually place? That's 2 sort of different questions. If you're watching live, if you are watching replay, either way, make sure you give a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. And I'll be live in about 5 minutes for the 2022 Mr. Olympia finals, where we have the bodybuilding, we have the classic physique. We'll find out, will Big Ramy potentially win the 2022 Mr. Olympia? Will Chris Bumstead make it 4? Will he retire on stage? Let me know what you think will happen at the 2022 Mr. Olympia. Thank you guys so much once again for watching, and sorry about that small little audio issue there where it cut out. But hopefully if you're watching this on replay, I've actually cut that out by the time you're watching. So that's it for me, for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding. We are out.